This is Hyperspace. What is it about?
In this video, we're going to take you through an overview of this game, and if you stay tuned till the end, hopefully you'll be able to decide whether or not this game is for you. Coming up. Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella from Meeple University, bringing you a variety of quality board game videos.
In this Kickstarter preview video, we're going to show you an overview of the game Hyperspace, designed by Sandy Petersen and published by Petersen Games.
Let's get to the table.
To be released in 2019 via Kickstarter, Hyperspace is a space-themed 4X game designed by Sandy Petersen and published by Petersen Games. The base game plays 2 to 4 players with an expansion allowing 5 or 6, and it has an estimated duration of 30 minutes per player. It's a medium complexity game, and it comes with a wide range of different civilizations offering unique strengths and weaknesses which give asymmetrical strategies to the game. In this video, we're showing you components from the test pilot prototype of the game, so the art, components and rules may not be final. The game will come with a wide range of miniatures. Some unit types are common to all factions, and these will come in different player colours as shown here, while the citizens and super unit miniatures will be unique to each civilization, and these will be grey with coloured base rings. Hyperspace is a 4X game in which competing civilizations attempt to seize control over a newly discovered star system. Through the game, players will explore by discovering new systems, expand by colonising the newly discovered planets, exploit the local resources to take actions, such as researching technologies and building new units, and exterminate rivals in battle to gain control of new systems. Players earn their victory points through their proficiency at each of the 4 X's, with points earned during the game for advancing on these tracks, and at the end of the game for territory controlled. The game can be ended once a player has gained at least 15 in-game victory points, and the player with the highest total score wins. On each turn, a player takes 3 key actions from this list of options, taking the actions one after the other. Play then passes clockwise to the next player who does likewise, and so on around the table until the game is over. There is no upkeep phase between turns or rounds, meaning that play keeps moving at a brisk pace throughout. Players will build their empires with colonies, citizens, star bases, and ships. Colonies and citizens are based on planets, and they are never moved around the map. Instead, they harvest the resources of those planets and establish control of the planet for endgame victory points. Star bases are geostationary bases established in orbit around a planet. These are also never moved around the map, but they establish control of a space system for end-of-game victory points. Ships, of which the player has 3 or 4 different types, are the player's mobile units, and it's these which will be doing most of the exploring and which will be doing most of the battling. Most of the actions in the game cost one of the 2 main resources: metal, which is primarily used for building units, and atomic, which is used for most other actions. The game also comes with 2 semi-wild resources: organics, which can be used as metal or atomic, but are also occasionally required in their own right, and hyper tokens, which can be exchanged for metal or atomic, or can be accumulated and traded for victory points or other bonuses. As such, players must establish a network of colonies in order to gain these resources using the production action. Colonies on planets will produce metal and or atomic, and citizens on planets will produce organics. Ships move in groups through the game, spending a single atomic to move a group of ships to a neighbouring system, or 2 atomic if the system is yet to be discovered. Discovering a new system allows the player to reveal it and move 1 step down on the probe track, gaining the benefits or victory points that are printed below it. There are not enough system tiles in the game for all players to reach the bottom of this track, so there will be a race through the early phases of the game in order to claim these points. Players may enhance their mobility by creating a network of star bases, as ships may freely move between that player's adjacent star bases without spending atomics and without expending action points. The expansion of a player's empire is done through building. In any given system, a player needs to start by building a colony on an empty space of a planet. This can be any visible planet, even one deep in enemy territory, although that can render a player vulnerable to attack if done unwisely. Once a player has a colony, he or she may build a citizen on that planet, or may build a starbase in its orbit. Each system may have at most one starbase, so establishing starbase control is a particularly competitive element of the game. Once a player has a starbase, he or she may build ships directly into that system. A single build action in the game builds one colony, one citizen, one starbase, or up to 4 metals worth of ships. Players may spend atomics and organics to perform the research technologies key action. Players have a choice of 4 of the common technologies and 2 technologies unique to their civilizations. Building technologies makes other actions in the game more powerful and allows players to advance on the research track, gaining victory points and other bonuses. Through the game, players will encounter many benefits which can be gained through the salvage action. Salvaging allows players to pick up these tokens from planets, repair ships which were damaged in previous battles, and retrieve bonuses which are floating around certain systems, including secret cards. Secret cards offer a powerful ability which is resolved immediately, and a bonus of up to 2 victory points which are kept secret and revealed only at the end of the game. There are 2 copies of each secret card with a different number of victory points on each, which hides a player's total number of points from opponents. Different players can cohabit the same system peacefully, or can initiate battle as a key action for the cost of an atomic. In battle, both the attacker and the defender roll a die, a d6, 8, 10 or 12, for each of his or her combat units in the system, based on what's shown here on the player's sheet. The full sum of the dice is then applied simultaneously as damage to the opponent's unit, with this number representing the number of hits that unit can take. Players choose which of their opponent's units are hit, and all damaged or destroyed units are removed from the board. Then, if successful at removing at least one of the opponent's units, the attacker, and only the attacker, advances on the battle track, gaining the bonuses or victory points shown. This means that players are directly incentivized to initiate battle, and that a player can benefit from battle even when taking heavy casualties. Unlike the other tracks, the battle track is unlimited in length, and continuing to battle an opponent once you've reached the bottom of the track will repeat the bonus from the last space on the track. This is often how late game victory points will be earned after the other tracks have been exhausted. Players will gain their victory points during the game by the bonus text effects on some secret cards, by trading in 3 hyper tokens to gain a victory point, but mostly by advancing on these 3 tracks. And note that the industry track has been removed from the game since this prototype was created. A player with at least 15 victory points may optionally declare the game over on his or her turn, and play then proceeds to final scoring. Players gain 1 point for each planet with at least one of his or her colonies on it, and 1 point for each system containing one of his or her starbases. Players gain the points and hyper tokens printed on the bottom of their secret cards, and then trade in any leftover hyper tokens at a 3-to-1 ratio for points. The player with the highest score wins. The endgame points could contribute around half of a player's total score, so players should not treat this game as a race to 15. Adopting a strategy in which a lot of endgame points are sacrificed in pursuit of the last couple of in-game points is unwise. The game as a whole should end quickly enough to encourage rapid expansion and opportunistic battle, and players who focus on a long-term arms race or on the establishment of a deep defensive position may find that the game ends before they can turn those strategies into the victory points they would gain for exploration, battle, and territory. The game is high on player interaction. The probe and research tracks alone do not carry enough victory points to bring the game to its endgame trigger, so all players should be expecting to engage in battle during the game, And many decisions in the game, particularly on the secret cards, require players to single out an opponent for a reward or a penalty. And so players need to keep focusing on who's leading and who's lagging to make sure these decisions are made wisely. Each player plays with a unique civilization, each of which comes with its own theme and history, and each of which has its own super unit and a specific advantage and weakness and an extra way of earning victory points. And this lends for a moderate degree of asymmetry between the players' strategies. The Broodmaster, for example, are excellent in defense, able to use their super ship to negate an enemy unit's attack, and able to hire third-party units to fight with them in battles. But this defensive nature makes them less mobile, and their corvette ships need to stay with the super ship or they'll be automatically destroyed. The Kickstarter campaign will launch with a total of 25 civilizations available, each with unique super unit and citizen miniatures, and backers will be able to customize their pledges to include civilizations over and above the 4 which come with the base game.
And that's overview of Hyperspace. We hope that you enjoyed the video and we hope that it helps you.
Now, at the time that we're releasing this video, Hyperspace is an active project on Kickstarter. And if you're not already on the Kickstarter page watching us, we'll leave a link in the description where you can get to that project to check it out if you're interested.
If you like this video, please hit the like button and comments, questions, feedback right in the comment sections below. You can also join our Facebook group, Meeple University Community, to share your life of board games.
And finally, if you'd like to be among the first notified for new videos from Meeple University, you can subscribe to us by clicking on the Meeple in the corner and do click the bell to get notifications.
Until next time.